Hi Aquarius, I'm here to do your reading. Let's see here. I'm gonna step into aqua energy. Okay. Alright, let's start with those. I'm gonna start with these. Aquarius. Oh, you guys, I'm seeing the Five of Cups. I feel like Aquarius has really just had a hard time. Not gonna lie, like I feel like you guys have just had like a really hard time. Like you guys have really been in an energy of like self-love and really like eliminating people out of your circle. And it's people who just take from you and who aren't there for you as you are for them. I do feel like you are going to be victorious towards whatever it is job-wise or career-wise that you go towards, even if it's just a creative endeavor. You're just going to be successful at it. I feel like you're going to have a lot of blockages that are released. But yeah, like I said, like you guys are on a pathway right now, the door to personal healing and happiness. It's like there's a door that's opening for you, and I feel like this time period is less about relationships and more about yourself. This is a time for you to really go within and quiet your mind, because I feel like whoever it is that's coming towards you in the near future, this is somebody who you're going to be aligned with, and it's like, it's a long-term thing. I feel like you guys really have to learn that personal care aspect of everything, like that personal care of knowing when too much is too much and not enough is not enough. Like having those personal boundaries within yourself and being like, okay, on this day I'm going to do this, and on this day I'm dedicating it to self-care, and not being such of a, like, because Aquarians are very much the humanitarian, and they will carry the weight when other people can't. A lot of times what will happen is Aquariuses will get so drained out and so tired and so exhausted that they just can't be themselves anymore. And that's what happens when a lot of people take from them and take from them and take from them, but don't respect what their needs are. So you guys could be in a position right now in your life where you're trying to express what your needs are and what you need to be successful and what you need to like stay healthy and stay satisfied, versus what other people's needs are. Because I feel like Aquariuses have gone through a lengthy time period where they were always the ones, they were like the go-to, where it's like, okay, something's going on, let me call my Aquarius. Okay, my life is falling apart, let me call my Aquarius. Okay, I can't handle this breakup, let me call my Aquarius. Like, it's like Aquariuses have been on speed dial for everyone lately. And even in the last few years, like I feel like you guys have really had a lot of people leaning on you. There's a lot of responsibilities that Aquariuses will carry effortlessly. And that's, you know, the beautiful thing about Aquarian energies is that they will help people endlessly, even if they suffer. You know, like an Aquarius will bend over backwards when they can't bend over backwards anymore. And they'll always put on a good face and a brave face. And then a lot of times the darker shadow side of an Aquarius will give until they can't give anymore, but also to their detriment. So I feel like this is really a time frame for Aquariuses to take a step back and to be like, wow, okay, what is self-love? Like, what is the ability to nurture anymore? Like, what is being, you know, like, it's like you guys are just scheduling off for the rest of the month, and you're like, okay, I'm tapping out, and I'm just going to go live on an island or go to the beach and just be myself for a little while and reconnect. There's something that you guys are thinking about as well. You guys could be thinking about an earth sign, Taurus, Virgo, Capricorn, or you could be thinking about a new job opportunity or something that's financially stable that you're like, I don't know if this is what I want to go after. Yeah, you're on a journey. I feel like everything has led you to this specific crossroads, whatever it is that you're in. I feel like you're coming up on a crossroads, and everything that has happened in your life has led you to this point. And whatever decision you make is what you're going to live with for the next chapter of your life. Like, you're coming up on it's a firm plateau of what it is that you're going up. It's like you're contemplating, you're looking at something. You know that there's a journey here. You know that there's something very spiritual here. You know that you're being asked to transform. You know that you're being asked to travel as well. So like there's a feeling of like packing your bags, but being like, is this really where I want to go? Is this really where I'm supposed to be? Yeah, it's causing a little bit of a tower moment. I feel like Aquarius is, you guys have been in a structure for a very long time, and that structure is now coming to an end. Like whatever system that you've been working for the last X amount of time, maybe it worked for you in the past, but it's not working for you anymore. So you're kind of hitting this point where you're like, okay, enough is enough. All the foundation's got to come up, and we got to rebuild something new. Like, I got to rebuild this foundation. I'm actually seeing somebody at the grocery store like, do I want apples or oranges? Apples or oranges? Apples or oranges? And it's like somebody just, they can't decide, apples or oranges. Rest and rejuvenation. That's exactly what I said, Aquarius. Is like you guys are right here in this energy of rest and rejuvenation. So this is a time frame for you guys now that is very important for you to learn how to do self-care. Now, it might be giving you a lot of anxiety because you're like, I got to go do this, I got to be doing this, or this person needs me and I got to go do this and I got to do that. You guys are the great humanitarian. You guys are always going to put whatever you're doing to the side to help another person and to be there for other groups of people, and that's where you guys find a lot of your peace, is working with other groups of people. But you can't do anything for those groups of people if you're not full yourself. So I feel like you're realizing that, and you're like, hey, I can't be there for other people if I can't even be there for myself. So again, you're taking that time out for yourself. You're really thinking about what it is that you're doing. You've come up on some type of crossroads. I don't know what it is because they're not specifying. Whatever crossroads you're at right now in your life, this is what your life has been building to. This is what every event that has unfolded has led up to, is this crossroads. Whether it be a decision, whether it be a career path, whether it be a life path decision, I don't know what it is. But it's like you're aware of something, you know something's right in front of you, you see the Golden Gate is all I'm seeing, is like the Golden Gate. It's like you're looking at the Golden Gate Bridge in San Francisco and you're just like, okay, I'm here. I just have to get across the bridge. And it's like, okay, let me get across the bridge. Let me walk across this bridge. But you're heavily contemplating something. And I feel like during this time, it's really important for you to quiet yourself, quiet your mind, and take alone time out. Like, I mean serious alone time. Like, I'm not talking about spending time with your family. I'm talking about going in your room or in a quiet space and sitting by yourself and meditating. Because there's something very important about what it is that you're about to make when it comes to a decision. There is a door that is opening for you that is going to have a lot of abundance and a lot of happiness. But it's like there's a hesitation where it's like, is that really it? Is this really it? Listen to your intuition. There's something that's being wrapped up, and there's something that's coming to an end. A cycle is coming to a close. This is a time of healing. You're going to be put in a position where you're going to have to make a decision. You need to make sure that you allow yourself proper time to rest before you make this decision. I feel like you guys are going to come out of left field, honestly. I feel like you guys are just going to... I feel like Aquariuses have been, like, really MIA lately. Like, you guys might have pulled your energy. You guys might be camouflaging yourself. But I feel like after this time period, you're just going to come out, like, with a bang. And you're going to be like, I'm back. And I'm a hell of a lot better than what I was. Yeah, that Magician card really wanted to stay face down. So you guys might be thinking about manifesting something new. This is a time of research and reading. So you might be pulled to, like, buy certain books or, you know, read certain things and just do it. Just buy the book. Buy the fucking book. You know what I'm saying? Like, buy the effing book. Sorry, I gotta watch my language. Like, I don't know what it is about today's energy, but I'm just, like, cussing left and right. There's anxiety about this decision, but they're asking you to keep your composure. Like, keep your composure. Wow, right off the bat, we got the Moon card. Can be connecting with a Cancer or a Pisces. There's something that you're not aware of. It's something that is secret. It's something secretive. You gotta let it go. I don't know what it is. Whatever is unclear to you, let it go. Move on. Release the stress. You're at the 9 of Wands right now. Release it before it becomes the 10 of Wands is really what I'm hearing. Like, don't let the 9 become a 10. Let it go. Whatever's unclear to you, let it go. It could have to do with emotions, where you're not sure of how somebody feels. somebody might be coming back around and they're trying to convince you that they're just like a changed person, but they're not. They're not. The person who's coming around, they're not. We have the Sun card here. So if you've been holding on to somebody from your past, you got to let them go, because I feel like they're going to tell you whatever you want to hear in order to keep a foot in your life, and it's like you got to see beyond the illusion and let go of it. Could be connecting again with that Leo energy. I don't know what it is about Leos. Or the Leo energy, not Leos in specific. So we have the Wheel of Fortune. Yeah, I have a feeling that if you guys have been putting off some type of healing when it comes to a connection in the past, you guys have got to do the work. Don't try and hold on to somebody if you don't have any contact with them, because what you're doing is you're keeping a doorway open for their energy to just kind of stay stagnant and linger. You got to move that energy. Don't hold on to people from the past who don't put the time into you. I know Aquarians, despite what people say about them, because I'm an Aquarius, and people all the time are like, you're so detached, you're so this, you're so that, you're so not emotional. But see, the thing is what's funny is that Aquariuses are the water bearers. Water is emotion. We channel that emotion. We are just as sensitive as anybody else. Like, we're not this stoic, like, you know, like, we're not this stoic sign that everybody thinks that we are. Like, we just process things on a different reason. Like I almost just said logic over reason, but it came out with just reason. Like, we reason with ourselves when it comes to emotion. Like, we reason with our emotions, and we're like, okay, like, I feel this way, but I can't do anything about it, but how can I fix it? You know, what's the logical approach? Like, Aquarians, in my opinion, are very good at balancing logic and emotion. Like, they're very good at balancing that head and heart and knowing that intuitive insight. Because people also say, I've heard countless readers also say this, where they say that, you know, air signs aren't super intuitive, but like, that's a lie to me, because air signs are very intuitive. I mean, Christ, they're air. You see what I'm saying? Like, they're air signs. They live in the ethers. Like, all of the air signs that I know are insane dreamers. I mean, like, they have some on-point dreams that it's kind of scary. Where, like, an air sign, like, if they're tapped in and tuned in to their spiritual practice and the divine, like, an air sign can be just as intuitive as any other sign. So, to each their own. I'm just kind of trying to stick up for my Aquarians over here and my air signs over here, because I know that we are very intuitive, despite what people say. Because people like to make out, people like to make air signs out to be like super like airheaded and stuff, but like, really, that's not the case. Like, I don't know any air sign that is so airheaded that they can't even, that they're not into, like, that they're not tapped in. Like, every air sign that I know, like, they're all very balanced, and they're all very, like, 1 foot in reality and 1 foot in the ether. And that's how they like to stay, because they are very connected and they are very intuitive. And I do feel like in this read, there's something coming through with your intuition, Aquarius, that you have to pay attention to, because you know it's stressing you out. And I feel like there's a reluctancy to acknowledge it, because you just don't want to. And it's like, you don't want to look at something. You don't want to pay attention to something. But it's like, when you have the clarity that you're looking for, you can release it. So you could be holding on to something that maybe you just don't have that clarity with. But it's like, don't hold on to it if you don't have the clarity, because I'm telling you, your intuition's telling you everything that you need to know. Your dreams are telling you everything that you need to know. Your insight is telling you everything that you need to know. It's like you're peeking over the veil, and it's like you've already seen it. You've already seen the future in some ways. Like, maybe you've had a premonition about something, or maybe you've had a vision about something, but it's like you've already seen whatever it is that you're trying to figure out. You've already seen it. These are very cryptic messages that are coming out right now for all the zodiac signs. It's really interesting. You're being illuminated to some type of path. And that's why I feel like whenever you come up to this crossroads, you're going to be happy, but it's like a bittersweet type of energy where it's like, oh, I didn't know it would come down to this. And whatever it is, it's like you're happy about it. You're going to make the moves towards it, but you're hesitating to release something. And it could be something that you're holding on to that you see a lot of value with, but I don't know if the other person who you're connecting with sees the same value that you do. And that's why they're asking you, like, think about it. Think about what you need to release, because you need to release something before it becomes too overwhelming. There's something very secretive, and there's also something that's very not clear when it comes to something. Now, with the Wheel of Fortune being here, again, with the Sun card, this points to positivity to me, but you might have to go through a little bit of like emotional pain, where it's like maybe you have to cut ties with somebody that you didn't really want to cut ties to. And as much as you're like, okay, well, I'm glad that I did this because I can move forward, but it hurts, you know? There's a pain there. But I feel like with this Wheel of Fortune, it's going to bring something right around the corner that I don't think you're going to see coming. It's like you're going to let go of something and you're going to walk right into something else. Yeah, so we have the Ace of Wands and the Seven of Pentacles. And I feel like that's investing in something new. Like you're investing in something new. And it's like you're fighting some type of cause. It's like you're fighting a cause to gain passion. And it's like, okay, if I cut all this shit out of my life, then I'll get that passion back. If I cut all this out and if I eliminate all the exterior noise, then I will get this passion back in my life. And I feel like you're strategically trying to move the pieces of the puzzle back together. Again, there is something that's very unclear, but I feel like something's coming right at you like a boomerang. It's like what goes around comes around, but I don't think it's bad. I feel like this is more positive, especially with the Sun card here with the Seven of Pentacles. This just tells me that there's some type of strategy involved with this, but I feel like something's going to come around like a boomerang, where it's like as soon as you release, here comes the Ace of Wands. Here comes that passion. Now, it doesn't have to be in a relationship. This is passion, and the way that I'm seeing this card right now, this is a passion for life. This is an excitement for life. This is getting back your power, learning to step into your power and being like, oh my gosh, like I don't know if you've been maybe feeling in a rut where it's like, you're like, I just can't do this. Like, I don't have the energy. I don't have the drive. I don't have the motivation. Like, I really want to paint, but I don't want to paint. Like, I don't want to finish it. Like, I'm just not feeling it right now. I'm not feeling this. That's kind of that energy that I'm picking up on. So if you're in that kind of like meh energy where you're like, I don't want to do this, I don't have the motivation, you're going to have the motivation if you release whatever it is that they're asking you to release. And I feel like the only way that you're going to find that is if you just sit with yourself for a little while and you allow that to come upon you. Because if you keep pushing it and pushing it and pushing it, it's going to be hard to figure out. But this is something that you really need to sit in silence and meditate and figure out, what do I need to let go of in order for me to move forward? Because the passion's got to come through. It's like as soon as you chop down these 9 wands that you have here, and again, this could be people in your life. This could be past communications and relationships that you've had with people who you've just been holding on to. But it's like as soon as I release all 9 of these, then I get the one that I'm wanting. Then I get the passion that I'm asking for. Then I get what I'm wishing for. Then I get what I'm hoping for. And it's like you have to do this to get that. And there's some type of strategy involved with it. It's very cryptic in details. Yeah, there's something that you might not be communicating. It's like you're holding yourself back from communicating. So if you're connecting with like an earth sign, Taurus, Virgo, Capricorn, or even a water sign, again, Pisces, Cancer, Scorpio, and strong Leo, just like the Gemini reading, there's a communication that needs to come through with something. And it could be releasing, or it could be like, you know, closure. Like, I'm not sure what it is, because it's not really coming through clear. Like every time I try to dig a little bit deeper, I get pulled back to this moon card where it's like, again, things are not meant to be revealed at this time. This is meant for you to do the work on your own. Like Aquarius is, you're really being tested right now. Like you're really being tested in your own energy, Aquarius is. Like, can you manage this? Can you value yourself enough to say enough is enough? Can you release all the things that you don't have to carry that are not your responsibility to step in what really is your responsibility? There's a huge focus on regaining passion back in your life and happiness back in your life. And it's like you're trying to do it in an appropriate way, but it comes down to communication. So I don't know if you have to communicate boundaries or if you have to communicate how you feel, but I feel like communicating something will release something for you so that your Ace of Wands can come in. And now, again, that Ace of Wands is it's not so much as a relationship. It might be. You might meet somebody who has been planning to come towards you, but it's like you have to put in the work on yourself first, because there's a reason why things are set up the way that they are right now for you, Aquarius. There's a reason why. There's a reason why you're by yourself, or there's a reason why you're not in a connection with someone or in a romantic situation. There's a reason for it, and it's because it comes down to your self-care. What are you neglecting about yourself? Because a lot of times in relationships, if you have unhealed mother wounds or father wounds, a lot of times we will continuously keep attracting the same type of people into our lives who may or may not remind us of our mother or father. And you're like, why do I keep getting a narcissist? Why do I keep attracting this type of person? There's something that you need to heal within yourself, whether it be your relationship with your mom or your dad or your brother or your sister or a friend. There's something that needs to be healed in order for things to go in the right direction appropriately, because you're right there, like it's not being held up for you, but it's like the universe is like almost being like, okay, Aquarius, like you've done so well, you've gotten yourself so far, and here we are, we're finally here at the crossroads when it comes to, you know, the big jump. Like, here's the big jump. You're at your life purpose, you're at your life mission, but before you can come up on this crossroads, there's just a little bit more that you got to do. That's really what I'm picking up on. So it's like you guys might even feel it where you're like, oh, I'm just so stagnant. I'm you know, this is being held up, that's being held up, this is being held up. Why is it being held up? It's because it comes down to you. And it comes down to something that you might not want to address. And unfortunately, we have to address the tough stuff. And for those of you who do have to, you know, dive a little bit deeper and maybe do therapy, or maybe you are in therapy and it's like you're right on the cusp of a breakthrough. Whatever it is that you just need to release, whether it be people, places, or things, you have to release it because it's keeping you stuck. And there's a blockage when it comes to your passion. And the goal for you, Aquarius, right now is what I see is to regain your passion and your happiness before you can go towards this crossroads. Because you're still in this pondering mode, and the look on her face is it's like she's aware, she's grounded, she's thinking, but there's also a little bit of like a meh type of energy where it's like, I don't have the fire, I don't have the drive, I don't have the passion. And the universe is asking you to sit with that and to figure out what it is, what's holding you back. What is blocking you from having passion? Is it your emotions? Is it not properly addressing your emotions? Maybe you have a lot going on and you have to be the strong person for everybody else. And you might think that you're acknowledging your emotions by being there for everybody else, but you're actually not. Because you're listening to what everybody else is feeling and you're helping them through it, but nobody's doing that for you. And you could be like, oh, I'm fine, I'm the Aquarius, I'm fine. But like, you're not, you know? So if you're in a situation where they're asking you to do this, think about how you feel. You know, like, I feel like this when blank happens. Or I feel like this when this happens. And just take 5 minutes to yourself and just write. Write it down in a journal. Journal it, you know? Write it down. Be like, I feel like this, I feel like that when this happens, I feel like this when that person talks to me like that. And by doing that, what you're doing is you're unloading your own baggage. You're unloading that suitcase of emotions that each and every one of us carry around. You're giving it a moment to have its stage time to be like, okay, I know how I feel about this, and I acknowledge how I feel. And what you're doing when you do that is you're also acknowledging your inner child. And when you acknowledge your inner child, we can heal. You see what I'm saying? Because we never just grow up. Like, we always have that inner child in us. Like, that inner child doesn't just go away. Whether that inner child be frustrated or happy or content or sad, whatever it is, you'll figure it out through meditation, doing what you do, and connecting into it. That's really what it comes down to. So I hope this helps, Aquarius. I wish you the best with it. It looks really, really positive, but honestly, this reading is just all about you, Aquarius. It is all about your healing and all about what you need to do. So best of luck to you guys. I wish you the best. I love you guys so much. Thank you all for your support, and I will talk to you soon. Take care.